Lately, we've been spending quite a bit of time looking at the new ways that the internet connects us and the new communities that are being formed. Today, I thought we'd look at social networking from a business perspective. How connected you are has always been one of the great measuring sticks for a business person. They used to say that someone had a great Rolodex full of business contacts which could ultimately be leveraged into business opportunities. And we actually used to go to pretty great lengths to expand our Rolodex. We looked for great networking opportunities, trade shows. I used to go to networking breakfasts and networking lunches, and we relied on each other to expand our network, to introduce us to new people. Well, today, I want to take a look at the internet version of a networking lunch, and this one is called LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a business networking site based on trust. The whole idea is that we each have circles of associates, an inner circle of people that we trust. Now, each of the people in our inner circle has their own circle of trust, which we're a part of. Now, the theory is, if I trust my inner circle and you're a part of it, then I should trust your inner circle. And as a valued member of my inner circle, you're probably willing to broker an introduction to one of your contacts if it's going to be mutually beneficial. That's how the business world works. It's true what they say. You either have to know somebody or know somebody that knows somebody. Well, with LinkedIn, you get to meet all those somebodies. When I first was introduced to LinkedIn, it was actually by an email. Someone sent me an email inviting me to join their circle. I ignored the email, as most people will, until I talked to this friend a little bit later on the phone. They explained to me the concept. I was intrigued enough to sign up. So once I signed up, I was brought into this area here, which allowed me to start managing my account. Now, on the LinkedIn homepage, you can deal with individual people, searching for people, jobs and hiring, services, a profile. You have a profile where you put in information that others are going to see about you to determine whether or not they want to connect with you for some reason. And finally, the My Contact area. Now, I thought long and hard about who I was going to invite into my inner circle, and I invited about 21 people to start. That was about a week and a half ago, and so far, 10 outstanding invitations are still waiting. So 10 people haven't yet replied, but 11 people have connected. Now, the people who were already involved in LinkedIn, most of them right away replied, and I was connected to them right away. Other people wanted to explore the concept a little bit before they said yes. Perfectly understandable. Now, we see my list of contacts that are here in my circle right now, and you can see some of the people have a lot of contacts within their circle, 89, all the way down to some people who are just starting out, just checked it out, basically only trusts me or doesn't have a lot of friends. Pete's got to get out more. He's got one contact. Now, how we access new contacts is really quite simple. We just click on the network of one of our friends. So here's John Dante. John's been a regular on our TV show. He's a guru of music at Apple, but he's left Canada now, and he works for Apple in the States. So if I've got a project that I need some advice about music with Apple, I'm going to contact John. Or I might be looking for a contact from John. So as I take a look at his LinkedIn connections, I can see a little brief overview of about 17 people, I think. Has he got 17? Yeah, I have 17 different people. Now, if there's somebody in here who really piques my interest, I said, that's the person that I need to talk to, I then contact John and ask him to introduce me to that person. I can see the person's name, I can get a brief bio of the person, I can learn about the person from John's page itself, but in order to actually talk to the person, John has to give me express permission to talk to them and actually introduce me to them. So anybody from the outside who's coming to connect to you is going to come through somebody that you trust. And that person is going to be a gatekeeper. They're going to determine whether they want you to be bothered with this connection or not. And within our profile, we can spell out what sort of people we want to meet, what sort of business opportunities we're looking for, if we're looking to just reconnect to old friends. People use this a lot to reconnect with their classmates, that sort of stuff. It's got a lot of flexibility, but the whole idea is to build bigger and bigger networks and more valuable networks of contacts. Here's another example of how it worked. As I was browsing another friend who spent a lot of time down in California's list of contacts, I happened to notice that one of his contacts is a technical recruiter at Google. Now, another one of my friends I know has a son, just graduated from Waterloo, who really wants to spend a few years working for Google. So when I looked in the recruiters page, I saw a description of the sorts of people that they're looking for right now at Google. As far as I'm concerned, my friend's son meets these job descriptions to a T. So here's how it's going to work now. I'm going to introduce my friend's son to my friend, who will then, if he thinks it's appropriate, broker an introduction to the recruiter. Now, my friend's son gets to meet the recruiter through trusted sources. That's how things work in business. Someone introduces you to someone because they know of someone that has a set of skills. That's what networking is all about. Now, my biggest concern about a concept like this was being hung out to dry by someone taking advantage of me or my contacts. However, it does seem to me that the checks and balances are in place to assure that I'm not embarrassed by someone using my name to open a door without my consent, and so I think you'll have the same comfort level. Still, I can understand when you receive an invitation to join this sort of network, you're going to be forgiven if you're going to be a little bit self-conscious, a little concerned, take a little time and research it before you sign up. As far as me, it's going to take me a little more time before I'm totally convinced of the value of this idea, but I am intrigued enough to stay enrolled for the time being. All 26 episodes of Dotto Tech Season 3 are available to borrow at participating libraries. Check our website for details.